Hello. Welcome to Buzzing with Cousin Talk. How's everybody doing out there? It's a great day. Everybody safe? We got a great show planned. Before I start, I would like to shout out to all the great nonprofit organizations out in this beautiful community that we live in. We got some great nonprofit organizations, and I just want everybody out there to support these nonprofits, donate if you can, volunteer if you can, go to some of their events if they're having an event, fundraisers, and let's take care of these great people out there and this great community that we live in. Okay, so let's get this show on the road here. Okay, who likes antiques? I love it. I love antiques. Well, on 471 Wave Street, there's a great spot. It's called the Cannery Row Antique Mall. And if you've been there, if you've never been there, you're in for a treat because you could be walking around in there for like 3 hours just looking at everything that's there. And bring your checkbook because you might walk out of there with something guaranteed. So today I'd like to welcome our guest. She's been a dealer there at the mall, and please welcome Jane Benight. Jane, welcome to the show.
Hello, Johnny.
How are you?
I'm well. I wore something especially for you today. Can you see the back of this? You see what it says? It says Untouchables.
Oh, wow. That's a classic.
It's an old shirt. It's from the Spaghetti Warehouse on Cannery Road.
Right.
I wore that for you.
I love it. Now, I remember when we had a conversation a few years back, the name, the crew, the girls that worked at the Spaghetti Warehouse, they were called the Untouchables, and I think you were one, right?
No, you know who was one? Was Sally Higgins.
Oh, yeah. No. Okay. Yeah.
Because it's so cheap to eat there. I mean, you could get a big spaghetti and meatballs for nothing there. I think this must have been a bowling league. They must have had a bowling league. I've had this forever.
I love it.
Since even when they were open, I've had this. It was vintage then. But anyway, welcome to the Antique Mall. We're recording from the actual mall.
I see your spot. It's nice.
Yeah, this is one of my spots. I have 5 here.
So Jane, how long have you been a dealer there at the mall?
The mall opened in 94, and I've been a dealer here since 1996. So how long is that? I don't even want to know.
It's been
over 20 years. I know that. My son was 2 when I first came here, and he's 26 now, and has his own family. So, yeah.
So Jane,
so I've seen a lot of change.
How did it start? I mean, who created it?
It was the brainchild of Steve Travail, who is still here and a very active dealer. His mom was in an antique mall up Northern California somewhere, and he was a real estate developer at the time, and he visited his mom, and he said, "Well, how much per square foot are you paying?" And at that time, I don't know what she said, $250 or something. And he was planning. He had bought this building. It was an empty building. It had been Nichols Plumbing before that. And he bought it and with some partners, and they were going to do storage. You know, you rent storage space. And antique mall prices were about 3 times more than what you could get for self-storage. And so he said, well, as Steve always says, it's a no-brainer. we can let's do an antique mall. And luckily, at the time, he had a friend who was a very good business manager, and she kind of set all the programs that we have up in place. We were all renting, and then about 6 years ago, they sold the building to a developer, Wave Street Development, who's developing next door and has another development. They do developments on Cannery Road. And they were going to kick us out and do office space. And then luckily the .com thing happened and they couldn't afford to develop it. And they were going to foreclose on the building. And so about 20 of us longtime dealers got together and bailed them out. And we got our property in exchange. So we own our own spaces here. And there's about 20 more dealers that own their own spaces. There's a lot of rentals because our main partner, Wave Street, who really didn't want to be involved in the antiques business, they have a lot of property still left they're trying to sell. So they rent theirs out. So there's quite a lot to rent, mostly upstairs. And so we have about half renters, half owners here. Makes it really nice. It makes it really stable because one thing is being in a collective, you never know what's going to happen to the building. So you feel kind of vulnerable establishing this business. And so it's wonderful now we know, and it's actually zoned as antiques retail. So we have our own unique zoning and nobody else in the world has that zoning. And so we're actually a unique business model, which makes it a little difficult to run because it makes it hard for people to understand, particularly the staff and, you know, people associated, the owners, stuff, to understand how we do run it. But we run it. It's been going on for 26 years, 25 years.
Now you
1994,
have,
I think.
2 stories, right?
Two stories. I'm up here on. Yeah, it's 22,000 square feet. So there's 11,000 square feet per floor. And you were exactly right. It takes people about 3 hours to go through it. If they're just cursory looking, if you're a really serious antiquer, I've actually seen people, there's a hotel next door, a Holiday Express. I've seen people rent rooms over there, come in, spend one whole day on the bottom floor, come back the next day and spend a whole day on the top floor. And there's always, if you really are into antiques or really love the hunt, you're going to find a great deal here somewhere because there's just too many dealers tonight.
I've picked up a couple of things there.
Oh, you did? What'd you get? Do you remember? What'd you?
I'm into like old nostalgic stuff. So I got my kitchen.
Oh yeah, you're the Woody.
Yeah, I didn't. And I got a couple things. There's a dealer upstairs that has all like old car brochures, like Cadillac, Lincoln. Those brochures are like, 1956 or and they're advertising that particular car. And I got a couple of those because I had a car show. I gave them out as prizes, as a raffle.
Oh, how cool is that? That's a great idea.
And then
that's Brian Dawson. He's actually, he has that, you're thinking of down by the stairwell. Is the stairs go up behind it? It's next to the stairs in the back. Yeah, that's Brian Dawson. He lives in Oregon, and he also lives in LA. He's not even a local dealer. It's a great business for people who aren't local because we have a whole staff. You don't even have to be here, except to, arrange your space.
And I got my kitchen is all my canisters and my everything that I have, the coffee maker, the pots, everything's red, right? So let me show you something.
Okay. You have a nice house. You got a great view. Out of the way of the view.
anyway,
Oh,
this is what I got at the mall.
oh, an egg beater. An egg beater. Oh yeah. Old school.
It's old school. See, it's got the red handle.
Yeah.
To go with my kitchen.
That's
so
cute. Cool.
I mean, you can always find something there. I mean, you're not gonna walk out handed. You know what I mean?
Well, we have a lot of clothes, and we have not even. We have a lot of nice, gently worn used clothes. We're getting more clothing dealers in. It's because there's so few stores left on the Monterey Peninsula. It's really a great place to come, even if you oh, I don't even know if Target's going to have an egg beater or whatever. You can just come here and get one probably less than what you would pay for one at Target even. That's the other thing I wanted to express is that we are a green company, because we reuse, we upcycle, so we're a green company, which we don't advertise that much, but I think it's important for people to know that and try to support green businesses too, as well as mom and pop businesses on the peninsula.
Yes.
There aren't too
shop local.
So the building, a lot of people ask us about the building. We are actually the most intact cannery building that's open to the public on the row. The only one that's more intact is Doc Ricketts' lab, or Ed Ricketts' lab, which is a private. You have to, make an appointment to go in there. That's not really a public space, but we have all the original equipment. We have the original flywheel that hoisted the sardines up. We were a warehouse for Carmel Canning Company. We were Warehouse B. It was built in 1927, all heart redwood. When you try to drill into these redwood posts, it's like drilling into cement. I mean, this whole building is old growth redwood. It's beautiful upstairs. You can't really tell. You can tell downstairs, but upstairs, it's higher ceilings, and we have the wooden floors and views, ocean views. It's really beautiful upstairs. And it was Carmel Key burnt down, I think. We sat behind Warehouse A, and then the cannery was on the ocean, which is still all undeveloped land. And we have great ocean views. There's no buildings blocking our views here. So it's really nice nice shopping environment, but it's a great, for me, because I'm here almost every day, working environment. And so 1927, we have pictures here of what it looked like. It was pretty farm. There was like a barn next door and, dirt roads and things like that when it was built. And we're right by the railroad tracks. So the train would have probably stopped and they would have just wheeled the sardines over. And you think about our building is 22,000 square feet. This was the second storage warehouse for sardines only, one thing. And, the sardines in those days fed the world because you didn't have to cook them. They were portable, and it was a high source of protein and fat. And I think a lot of people's lives were saved during World War I and World War II, because of the products like what we had on Cannery Road. There were many canneries all along the West Coast, and then, it went bust in the mid-50s because they were overfishing. And then the row had a big change. And then the aquarium came in, and that's what revitalized this whole neighborhood. But this whole neighborhood this building is one of the most historic buildings in the neighborhood. So even if you don't like antiques, it's really a fun place, especially to bring kids. It's like a living, touching museum. And we carry a lot of local memorabilia, and it's really a fun place to bring kids to. I encourage people to bring their children. Make sure you're holding their hand in certain places, but it's a great living.
And then you were saying, some local memorabilia. There's a friend of mine that he's a dealer. His name is Andy, and he has all fishing stuff.
Andy he's one of our owners. He's a longtime colleague of mine. He's been here almost since the beginning too. He never played a really huge role in management, but now I call him the gatekeeper. You got to get past Andy, get through the front door. He's
Yeah,
been really great and sort of and making sure things are running smoothly and working with the staff. And he's a wonderful liaison for us. He's really been a blessing for us. He's really stepped in and really has been helpful in so many ways as boots on the ground, because our main partner, Wave Street, they don't care really about the day-to-day or understand a lot about the day-to-day involvement here and what it takes to run a large retail space like this. So we need people on the ground who are every day talking to our basically silent partner. And so he's that guy, and he's been wonderful, and we're really happy to have him here. And yes, he does sell all nautical, and his space is great. His is down right when you walk in the front doors, and he's been a great asset to us. And in fact, he was really the one who got our latest manager hired, Fran. Everybody knows Fran, right? Just like everybody knows you, Fran Hinckley. She's our manager. And so she's a long time friend of his, and now she's working for us. And it's fun. We get a lot of local people here working on. So we have a big staff. I mean, it's about 10 people. So we have a lot of locals who work here. We had one gal. Well, she's still here. She's not on the floor anymore. She works behind the scenes. But her parents were actually, there's two people associated here whose parents actually worked in the canneries in the 30s and 40s. And one, Tina, she still lives near the row. I'm not sure if that house was her childhood home, but and then Janice also, her parents worked in the canneries back in the day. So a lot of true blue. Tina's dad was a fisherman for the canneries. He was an old-time fisherman, and I can't remember what his name was, and I don't know if it's her last name is her maiden name. But anyway, so we get a lot of history via that way through the locals too, and telling us stories about what went on the row and all that. So, do you want me to try to take the camera on a little tour? And turn the camera around.
I was going to say that, you know, what's great is you mentioned the history of the building and the sardines. So like you said, even if somebody's not an antiquer, they walk in, they look around, and you and other dealers that know the area are giving them information on the history, like you just did just now.
Yeah, we always try to. People would ask us, especially when they come upstairs, they see the flywheel and all the original machinery that hoisted the sardines, because the original building didn't have stairs. The stairs were on the outside, like old warehouses were. And when Steve bought the building, they put in the stairs at that time. And so that's why we have a flywheel, a hoist. We call it the fish ladder. It's technically not a fish ladder, but it's the same era. It's a wooden mechanical, sort of like an escalator, but on a small scale, where you put the crates of sardines to go up to the second floor to be stored, because there was no indoor staircase, and it wasn't meant for people. It was meant for sardines. So we had to, Steve and his brother Mark, who's a construction guy, used to be a contractor. I think maybe still is, but he's our handyman guy, and they put in all the modern, so that people could actually be in this building and not sardines. And although there's so much stuff, we pack it in like sardines. But we have a big old barn door where they hoist the sardines out, and they would take it over to the railroad. I'll show you that door in a minute. Perfect. Yeah, I'll show you the flywheel. You want me to get? Okay.
Yeah,
I'm going to try to show you.
You have 5 spots. What? Yourself.
I have 3 together that have that has a really beautiful ocean view that I bought early on, and when we were going to buy the building. So I have 3, and then I have a my original space, which is the top of the stairs lantern shop, which carries a lot of chinoiserie Asian and a lot of lanterns. And then downstairs, I have a little small space just to kind of have a space near the front door down. Because when we bought in, the people who had been here, and I'd been here for a long time, we got first choice of what we wanted to buy. And most of the people bought downstairs because more people do go downstairs. But I really like the working environment upstairs, and I love the ocean views. And I just really wanted to buy space with the ocean view. And I don't feel like I'm lacking in customers up here. I think I've been here so long that people actually know my space and they actually make a special point. It's kind of like, I tell people it's sort of like Disney World. It's overwhelming. And when you first time you just do whatever you do, and the second time you pick your favorite spots to go to, and then you don't feel so overwhelmed. And I think that's how it is here, because whenever I'm in here and there's customers in here, they're always saying, "Oh, I love your space. I always make sure I come in." So over the years, I've built up a nice clientele, which is great. But I have the freedom to not have to be here. That's the beauty of it, because I can travel, and I live part-time in Oregon. I do a lot of dealers now. We're getting older and retired. We live other places as well as here, and or we travel for a long time. Our kids are grown. And so it's a beautiful business for that, because it's pretty well run. We have a wonderful crew who's been here a long time, and they're very devoted people. And so we're very lucky. Our crew just always gets better and more experienced. So we're very, very lucky. And it's run very well. I think I've been in other antique malls, and I've visited a lot of other antique malls, and none of them are really as well run as this one is. And it's a great business. Unique, great business model. Yes.
Oh, Jane.
What was that?
Weeks.
Okay, we'll go on a tour. Now, hopefully, I'm going to turn it around. If you're not seeing what you're supposed to see, just let me know, and I'll adjust it, because I won't be able to.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, no, I guess I can't do that. Can I turn it around? No. How do you turn? Oh, I have to. I don't see a switch to turn it around. All right, I'm just going to stand. So I'm going to try to get out of the way. There's a little ocean view.
Yeah.
And then I'll show you, I have some really unique things I wanted to show you. I tell people I sell everything from soup to nuts. But one of the things I sell are vintage clothes. In fact, that's how I first got started in the business about 35 years ago. I used to do the Santa Cruz flea market and sell vintage clothes. And so I just got this beautiful, I don't know if you can see it. There it is. That blue dress hanging on the wall.
Yes, I see it.
See that long blue dress? And there's a beautiful tuxedo there too. That is all hand sewn. It was made before there were sewing machines. It's from the 1840s. And I found it up in Oregon. I live part-time there, so I do a lot of what we call picking up there, picking American pickers. So I'm an American picker. I travel all over the country and do long trips. But now that I'm part-time in Oregon, I pick up there mostly because everything's kind of new to me, and I can get a lot of things that I can't get around here. But so anyway, and I have this beautiful 1910, 15, all silk, wool and silk tuxedo. My head's in the way, but there's this silk beautiful tuxedo. And so I'm going to take you around. I have lots of china, lots of paintings. And then I just wanted to show you this beautiful view out there. Can you see the ocean?
I love it. Yeah.
Can you see that?
Great.
Yeah. So that's my working environment. I sit by this ocean a lot, and I look out the window. And so here's a display that I've been working on. And I carry Happy Girl Kitchen from Pacific Grove because I support them, because they're organic and local and they source local farms. So I carry Happy Girl Kitchen, which is a new item, of course, jams and pickles. And I found this stuff, this Amish country popcorn. It's the best popcorn you'll ever eat, guaranteed. I guarantee it. It's amazing. It's it comes from the Midwest, where the best popcorn in the world is grown. I discovered it at a farmer's market back east, and I was like, I've got to have this. So I carry them too. And sometimes I'll carry other little sort of new specialty items with my kitchen things. This is sort of my kitchen area. And, you know, I sell a lot of French things. These are new little French butter dishes too. I buy from a French company that distributes out of Berkeley. So I drive up there and I pick up a lot of, here's some French ceramics, because, you know, you can't really eat out of the old ceramics anymore because they have lead in them. So I buy the stuff that looks old, but's new, and you can put it in the dishwasher and the microwave. So
Good,
that's kind of nice. Yeah. So let's take a little walk around the mall. Hello, here's customers. We're live with customers here too.
Hi.
What's that? I'm doing a live broadcast, but I'll try to get someone to help you. So we got customers want a key. Let me go. So here's our flywheel. And can you see that? See the flywheel?
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this is what brought we'll look down there. There's this is the ladder. We call it the fish ladder. And these are old crates, I think, that were here. They've been here ever since I've been here. And then here's our barn door. This used to open up. And they would swing the sardines out the door. And then they would have wagons. They take it right over to the tracks are just right across the street. So actually, they're not tracks anymore. It's the rec trail. What used to be the tracks, right? No longer tracks. So anyway, so here's the big part of the flywheel here. And everybody asks, well, does it work? And we did hear that they actually did start it up when they were remodeling the building, just to see, because the engine is still here. So here's the motor up there, and it's a old diesel motor.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, hang on. I'm gonna tell somebody needs some help in a showcase.
Oh, yeah.
There's Cyril. So I'm gonna take you to my other space, which everybody thinks is quite unique. Is my lantern space. See all the lanterns? Yes, top of the stairs, lantern shop. And I have a little view out of here. I'm just going to show you around real quick, but I have a view down Wave Street, which is kind of cool. See, I can see out that way. And I have a view down. I used to have a better ocean view, but they're building second-story homes down here. So, but that's out my little shop. And it's so fun. And we have lots of windows, old windows we open up. And so the sea air comes in all day long. And it's just wonderful to be up here. And this is a cool little shop. This is Alice in Wonderland. The whole shop's themed. A lot of dealers have certain themes. And then this one is this gal. She's a contemporary artist. And she lives across the street. She bought a house and fixed it up across the street. And we got her all involved. But this is her work. And she does some cool little things. And this is one of her paintings. Her name is Erin. And she's younger, so she's got kind of a nice young vibe going on.
Good.
So we've got, I don't know, there's just so much. Steve has all paper ephemera, all the back wall, all the way back there. We see it says keep them flying. And the music's going to get loud because we're going by the PA, but here's another gal who does all 60s and 70s era. And that's Sandy. Do you know Sandy and Frank? Solicito?
Oh, yes, I know him.
Here's Teresa. Teresa, who was the owner of Heartbeat down in Big Sur for like 25 years. She used to be the buyer for Nepenthes. She's here. And this is her spot. And she had a shop on Ocean Avenue in Carmel for many years, and now she's kind of retired. And so she does this. We just got this guy. He was the former mayor of Santa Cruz, Dennis Norton, I believe, or councilman. I don't remember. But he was with us for a long time, and then he went sailing around the world, and he came back, and he has nautical stuff too. He has a lot of interesting things. And so I'm going to head downstairs. And we have an elevator. We're all ADA compliant. And the mall's looking really great now. People are really taking a lot of pride too, because I think also it's such a beautiful building, you know. So I'm going to go down the stairs. You can more interesting going.
I'm due for a trip there. I usually every now and then, I go, but it's been a while with the COVID, so I'm thinking of making another trip
I lose you.
to the mall.
Uh-oh. I'm going to try. You know why this building is covered in metal, so the reception is probably not the greatest here, but I'm going to go towards the front.
I can see what you're doing. I can hear you.
There's Chris. Chris is our manager.
Hey, Chris.
Assistant manager. He's great. We love Chris. He's a wonderful guy.
Now you're coming in perfect. Yeah, now.
Okay. And so I'll just quickly go into my one little space. Check out the spinning wheel. Look at that thing. It's huge. This is my other little space. And here's a oh, it's a worker. Hello. Denise is here. So I do a lot of games and radios in here and more popcorn. The popcorn. And so a lot of dealers have different themes. We have a one gal that does nothing but Disney collectibles, and let's see, what else do we have? Oh, Matt, he does wonderful antique tools. I'll show you his spot real quick. He's right by the front door. Oh, well, since we're over here, we'll go by Andy's. This is Matt's space. He does a nice look at all the tools he has. And hatchets. Wow, I'm going to make him mad.
Yeah.
And let me take you over to Andy's spot.
Okay.
Here's Andy's. Like a bar we could sit at.
Okay. Kind of.
It's nice.
I can't see Andy's spot. Right?
What?
Kind of. It's blurry.
Oh, here, I'll slow down. This is Andy's. He's got like a restaurant back here.
Okay,
it's nice.
I see it.
He's really good with display. And so, and then, oh, here's our Disney person. Look at all the Disney pins. Every Disney pin you could ever hope to want. And she does really well. People love the Disney stuff. So, and then here's another little China shop, which is really sweet. This is Tina, I think, is in here. This is the one I was telling your dad was a fisherman for the Cannerys. And I think this is her. She's wonderful in a designer. I think she does interior, but it's beautiful. She always does great display work. And she has some amazing things in here. So there's something for everybody, Johnny.
I love it. I love it. Great.
Yeah. It's a fun place to work for sure. It never feels like work, that's for sure. It's a lot of work, but it never feels like work. Yeah.
Every time everybody's friendly and talking, and it's really great.
Oh, yeah. It's a great business. You can't be out of it. There's no deadlines. You don't have to get rid of it like you do food. You have to process, get it out of there. It's just a very relaxing business to be in.
So Jane,
here's our fish ladder.
Yeah.
There's Zena. That's Zena. But that's our fish ladder. That's all original. So, anyway, did you have any more questions? Or?
It's like it goes on and on. So interesting. I was just going to say, there's space. If somebody wants to be a dealer, you have space open there then, right?
Yeah, I think they're like completely rented out right now, but it's, probably next month there'll be an availability. Just put your name on a list. And so I think they're almost rented out. Fran does a really good job of renting out the spaces. So, but, people come and go a lot, especially, if they're renting. The owners stick around. And sometimes the owners will rent out too. So it's not just Wave Street. Rave Street has most of the rentals upstairs, but owners too rent out. And so different owners will have spaces for rent. And some of the owners have already sold spaces, so we've got some new owners in. And so we were always getting a lot of new interactions with people, which is really neat. And but it's a nice stable place to be because we have a core of 20 owners, and I'm sure most of the people aren't going anywhere. Most of the dealers who are owners are people who have been here since the beginning, you know.
Jane,
So
what's your
anyway,
hours?
I'm outside.
What's your hours?
What?
Your hours.
Oh, our hours every day 11 to 6.
Okay.
And so that makes it easy. We used to have different hours, but we just changed it to make it simpler. So this is our front sign. So I'm standing out front right now. And people are trying to figure out the parking meter. It's always a pain. It's totally terrible. They put in a new app on the parking meters and nobody can figure them out. I've already gotten 2 tickets because I couldn't figure it out.
You need like a 7-year-old, that can figure that out.
Well, you know what? I'll show you what's going on. We used to have a parking lot. And so I'm going to walk down to what they're doing. We had a parking lot with 8 spaces, but our partners are developing it, which was part of the agreement of the building. But we still get 4 spaces when they're done. And if people have not been here in a while, everybody's very surprised. So here's this new building where our parking lot is, but this is our new parking lot. So we're going to have this parking lot back when they're done. And I'm not sure when they're going to be done, but they're going pretty fast. They've already it's going to be 3-story condominiums next door. So they're going pretty fast with it. So I'm sure they'll be done before, in 6 months or so. This is our window right now. We're doing a tribute to Ed Ricketts. So there he is. Erin, who lives across the street, did this window. She's really great with display. Wow. So that's our new window. She set up like a little mini Ed Ricketts party room lab sort of thing. She's got he loved to listen to music, so she set that up. And I salvaged a whole laboratory up in Oregon, so there's all this lab glass and lab equipment. And so we try to do everything together as a group, and it's really nice. Many hands make light work.
Beautiful.
So,
beautiful.
Yeah.
So
here's our big sign. Yay! They figured the meter out. This stupid app. It is nice because you don't have to carry quarters with you around all the time.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. I was going to interrupt.
Putting it with the chip going up, right?
Oh.
And here it tells you the strip on the card
needs
to be on your left side. So I turned it the other way around.
Oh, okay.
So the strip in the back.
All right. Everybody struggles with the credit card on there.
I know. Thank you.
You're welcome. If you use the app on your phone, it's a lot easier. All these things are really meant for the apps nowadays.
Everything is an app. Yeah. Hey, Jane, you got a 3 weekend here, and you guys are going to have a busy day today. You got a 3-day weekend. You're going to have a busy day today.
I've already had a busy day this morning, just being here for a couple hours. So, it was crazy yesterday. It was already, when I came here at 11, there was already no parking on Wave at 11, which is rare because there's always parking. So, for locals, who are mostly the people who'll be watching this, is as long as you don't come on like Labor Day weekend or, a busy day like that, you can always find parking on the street. And our side streets are free for an hour and a half. So every side street that comes down to the row, McClellan, Drake, Prescott, Hoffman, those are 90 minutes free, and an hour and a half often is plenty of time for people to come and look. Yeah. So anyway, so here we are, Johnny, and I wanted to just make sure that since I need a camera person. We're on Wave Street. I wanted to wave.
Hi.
On Wave Street.
We're waving. Jane, I
All
appreciate
right.
you coming on and letting us know about the Cannery Row Antique Mall and giving us
Yeah.
a tour, of the place. And I'm recommending it for the listeners to go out, take time, take an hour of one of these days and go in and check it out because it is great. I mean, you're going to be walking around and checking things out for hours. So,
Oh, yeah.
Jane, thank you for coming
It's
on. I'm
fun,
going to let
and
you
it's
go.
fun if you're welcome. Thank you. It's fun too. It's fun to work here, and it's fun to shop here. So, thanks so much for taking the time to do a little interview, Johnny. Cousin.
Jane, we appreciate you. Thank you. And I'll see you at the mall. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks.
Hello. Okay, Jane Benight. Thank you so much for taking us on the tour and showing us around at the Cannery Row Antique Mall. Thank you so much. And I want to thank everybody for coming on and buzzing with Cousin today. And we will see you next week. But I want to let anybody know out there that if you know someone that is interesting or has someone to share, something to share, or something to talk about, give me a message on Facebook or email me at Johnny, JOHNNY 1028 at sbcglobal.net and let me know if you want to come on to this show. Once again, thank you for everybody for tuning in, and thank you, Jane Benight. Fantastic. Talk to you later. Be safe out there. Bye.